Work-life balance Reddit stories is what we at ThreadTalk have in store for you guys today. I'm your host, Denver. I'm joined here with my beautiful, beautiful fiance, Teresa.
That never gets old. You can tell me I'm beautiful all the time.
280-something days, guys. I don't know the exact number.
Till our wedding?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tell my wife. Teresa, do you have any work-life balance stories you want to talk about?
Me? Myself?
Yeah, any personal work-life balance stories? What does work-life balance mean to you?
I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, my work would be... No, my life would not consist of work.
It would be separate. Does anybody separate the two? Does anybody go to work, punch the 9 to 5, and then as soon as work is done, boom, that's it?
That's me.
You leave it at the office and you don't take it home with you. You leave it at the desk in your den and you don't take it to the living room with you.
When I was in public accounting, 3 years, a very rough 3 years, guys. And if you were in public accounting, you know, I couldn't separate the two because of busy season. So now that I'm out of it, I feel like I have the ick of corporate life. I feel like it literally just gives me the ick. And I will now do the bare minimum.
When I was in car sales for the last 5 years, it was very hard for me to separate work from my personal life because I did a lot of social media. And if somebody called me after work hours, I always picked up. I had to respond to messages. I had to do quotes. I never was able to just leave the job at home. When I worked at Tormont years before that, boom, I clock out. That's it. I'm done. Boom. Never thinking of you till Monday morning.
I think with our new generation, Gen Z, and even some millennials, I think people are realizing the work-life balance is a lot more important than...
I think they realize that people got swindled into continuing to work when they weren't supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think it gets even harder when you're on salary. It gets even 100%. Harder.
And most 9 to 5s are salary.
Yeah.
I know you used to be commission based, but my entire career, which has only been like 4 years, but it's been salary. Like that's all I know.
I've never had a salary position.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's either hourly or commission.
Yeah. With salary, it's difficult because corporations take advantage.
They do. Absolutely. So my thought process behind naming this episode Work-Life Balance was... These are stories when the work maybe isn't staying at work and it's kind of coming home to you. And maybe you don't like that. And I had gone about and I had created this category and I got my 7 stories. And then Teresa had to go and she had to then create her stories, go search for her stories for this episode to fill in the gap. And Teresa, after she was done, she's like, hey, shouldn't we like rename this? Like, why is it work-life balance? Shouldn't it just be like work Reddit stories? Like, and I was like, well, the whole point of work-life balance is when it kind of like blends in your home life when it really shouldn't be. And she's like, ew.
Yeah, I didn't get the memo, obviously.
I mean, the memo was there, but it didn't ask me for an explanation first.
So, okay, a lot of my stories do relate to that work-life balance, but some of my stories are just strictly work. So, apologies, guys, in advance.
I feel like that could be another episode just in itself of like work-related stories. But yeah, this one was supposed to be like a blend of the work is coming home with you when it shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. And, guys, I have an update for the story from last time. Am I the asshole for losing it on my husband, for not taking care of our newborn the whole time I was at work? So there's an update for that. If you didn't see the original post, it was on our last episode 39, Modern Day Problems. And I will read the episode at the end of the story.
And we got some other life updates for you too, including like maybe a cruise. So we'll get into that in a little bit. I guess I should start us off.
Sure thing.
With our story. Actually stay on point, on theme here.
I'll try to do all of my on point ones at the beginning.
All right. Well, let's get going. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle, please, and we'll enjoy the ride, guys.
Okay.
Okay, first one's coming from Am I the Asshole? I have been waiting waiting to read this one since I first read it.
Is it a long one?
No, it's just really good.
Okay, good.
Teresa, I know you guys love the long stories.
I know.
Teresa's not the biggest fan because she's got to sit through them over there. It's hard for her attention span to stay on track.
No, it's so true. Okay, sorry. Let's go.
It's also hard for my attention span to stay on track with yours. So I pull your stories up, and
I've been noticing
I
you've been
read
doing
along
that.
with you.
Maybe I should start doing that.
Maybe you should.
Okay, fine.
Wink,
I'm gonna
wink.
do it.
All right. Am I the asshole for asking my husband to join us in my sister's birthday since he was in the same restaurant?
I don't like looking at your story because then I see the result, like what is voted. You ruined it for me.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I'm not
My
looking
bad.
anymore.
Don't look on the rest of them. I, female 26, was invited to my sister's 18th birthday party a few days ago at a restaurant. My husband didn't come because he said he had a meeting dinner with some clients. This made my family feel let down, especially my sister who wanted him there, and also her 18th birthday was a big deal to her, obviously. To my surprise, when I arrived, I noticed that my husband was having his meeting at the same place. His table was right in the corner, and he had about 4 men sitting with him. My parents and the guests saw him as well. I waved for him and he saw me but ignored me. He obviously was as much as surprised as I was. My parents asked why he didn't even come over to the table to acknowledge them after the cake arrived. I got up and walked to his table. I stood there and said, "Excuse me," and my husband was silent when I asked, after I introduced myself to the clients as his wife, if he would take a minute to join me and the family in candle blowing to say happy birthday. But he barely let out a phrase and said, "I don't think so, I'm busy right now." I insisted, saying that it would just take a couple of minutes and that it would mean so much to my sister. He stared at me and then stared awkwardly back at his clients. They said nothing and he got up after my parents were motioning for me to hurry up. He sat with us while my sister blew the candles out and cut the cake. My parents insisted he takes a piece and join us in a selfie, but he got up and walked back to his table looking pissed. We haven't talked till we met later at home. He was upset and started scolding me in front of my parents, saying I embarrassed him and made him look unprofessional and ruined his business meeting. I told him he overreacted since it only took a few minutes and it was my sister's birthday and family wanted him to join since he was literally in the same restaurant. He called me ignorant and accused me of tampering with his work, and I responded that ignoring mine and my family's presence was unacceptable. We argued and he started stonewalling me and refused to talk to me at all. FYI, I didn't have an issue with him missing the event, but after seeing that he was already there, it became a different story. Also, it literally took like 5 to maybe 7 minutes total. He didn't even eat nor drink, just sat down and watched. Am I the asshole?
Yeah. Yes and no. Like, okay, I have a couple thoughts here. I think, yes, you're an asshole for going up and, like, introducing yourself to his clients and stuff. Like, I don't think that was appropriate. I think it's, like, it's very weird. And obviously, he was giving you the look, like, don't come here. Like, I am in my meeting. Like, this is not a place for you to, I don't know, join. Like, so, yeah, I don't know. Everyone to be like, oh, come join in on the photo. Like, and your clients are just going to be left there, like, watching you. Like, that's not professional at all. So, yes. But at the same time, I will play devil's advocate here. I don't think he needed to, like, ignore their presence. Like, it seems like they walked in and he, like, didn't even, like, he noticed that they were there, but he didn't even, like, react. Like, I don't know, if it were me and I was, like, with clients or something at a restaurant and you came in with, like, your family, I would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but, like, my fiance and my family is here. Like, I'm just like, how random, like, you know, wave to you guys or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just continue on, but, like, not be like, oh, sorry, like, let me go say hi, let me go kiss everybody, let me go take pictures with them. Like, just acknowledge the presence, I think. But it seems like he was just, like, blatantly ignoring them, which is a little bit, I don't know, not something I would do.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, though. Like, maybe his clients are really, like, tough clients.
I guess it depends.
And
yeah.
maybe they're emotionless people. And maybe the vibe he gets from them is that they are 100% business. Maybe they're in a rush. Maybe they don't have time for any distractions. Maybe he's in the middle of closing a multi-million-dollar sales deal or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know, I guess. Yeah.
We don't know. And maybe he's in a profession that kind of requires utmost professionalism. Like he's trying to win over a multi-million-dollar client or something, like high stakes.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
I do kind of agree with you. Like maybe there is a little bit of a balance here between acknowledgement and then not leaving clients unattended. But at the same time, I can understand why you could see the need to just shut that out. That's a whole party going on over there. And I'm over here trying to pay our bills. I'm over here trying to make this bread, trying to keep the roof over our heads.
Yeah.
It's very important. And obviously he just wasn't comfortable with that interaction. Maybe like regardless, like whatever his personality is, whether it feels like he's under a lot of pressure, whatever it is, regardless, that's his personality and how he chose to do it. And I feel like his wife didn't respect his boundaries.
Yeah.
It's one thing if that happened and you get home and the wife was like, yeah, I'm a little hurt that you couldn't even come say hi. But like, that's the person that you chose to marry. So you should have a fair understanding of where his personality is at.
Yeah.
Like if that was you and you're in a business meeting, I feel like you would not want me to come over and say hi to you unless you waved me over.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like you would like,
I would
not
get distracted.
or embarrassment or anything.
Yeah.
I would feel like you wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
And you as my wife, partner, life partner, I would have that respect for you and I would understand where your personality is at with your situation.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I think, it's hard though, because like, I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. Like, I don't know, your husband's right over there.
It's tempting.
Yeah, of course it's tempting. So I don't think I would personally do that.
I think you got to treat it as if it's a coincidence. I feel like you got to treat it as if he's not there.
Yeah.
Like if he saw you and he made eye contact with you, he's at work.
He knows that you're there.
Let him do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to be, oh, hey guys, random coincidence, but my family just walked in. Exactly. They're celebrating a birthday. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to say hi to them and I'll be right back. That's his call to do in front of his clients.
Yeah, that's true.
What if that's his boss? Yeah. And his boss doesn't have, he knows his boss has zero tolerance for any of that shit.
Yeah, or if he's like, I don't know, on a warning or something.
Yeah, like what if he knows his boss is an asshole?
Yeah.
And would have zero patience for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So this overall vote was the asshole.
I know, I saw.
I'm saying that because I know you saw. Top comment, you're the asshole. Quote, my husband didn't come because he said he had a meeting dinner with some clients. This made my family feel let down, especially my sister who wanted him there. And also her 18th birthday was a big deal for her, obviously. Congratulations to your sister, but work meetings trump sister-in-law's birthday. If you wanted him there, you should have moved the date of the celebration. Quote, my parents asked why he didn't even come to the table to acknowledge them after the cake arrived. Because he was working.
Yeah.
Quote, I asked if he'd take a few minutes to join me and the family in candle blowing, but he barely let out a phrase and said, I don't think so. I'm busy right now. I insisted, saying he'd take a couple of minutes. It would mean so much to my sister. He stared at me, then awkwardly went back to his clients. You asked. He answered. You should have left it alone. You embarrassed him in a professional setting. Also, is he allowed to have any boundaries? No is a complete sentence. Quote,
yes.
My parents insisted he takes a piece and join us in a selfie, but he got up and walked back to his clients looking pissed. Because he didn't want to be there. He had a prior commitment. He told you he didn't want to be there. Quote, he was upset and started scolding me in front of my parents, saying I embarrassed him and made him look unprofessional and ruined his business meeting. You absolutely did. Quote, he called me ignorant and accused me of tampering with his work, but I responded that ignoring mine in my family's presence was unacceptable. You are, and you did. You and your family's response and lack of support is what is unacceptable. You and your parents are adults. It is your job to manage your feelings. Your sister is 18, not 6. She should understand, although you typed all this out and still had to ask if you're the asshole. So, ...
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with everything.
Brutal.
Yeah, I think the family is just like, I don't know, I guess like nonchalant. I feel like they probably have never had a 9 to 5. Like, I don't know, that's the vibe it's giving. Like, they don't really understand.
Yeah. Like delusional. Like,
corporate life.
Do you not know how work works? And this is the story that started my work-life balance theme.
Yeah.
Because I'm like...
That's a perfect one, yeah.
He's trying to work, and the personal life is like blending into the work situation. And poor guy gets embarrassed because of it. I'd be so mad at you.
I know.
Because like, it's the fact that you didn't respect my boundaries. You didn't respect what I was saying. Like, you didn't respect any of that stuff. And it's not just like, oh, I'm doing a guys' night with the boys. I'm drinking at the bar. Like, I am at work. I'm trying to close a business deal over here. Like, this is important to pay the bills.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
Yeah. Wildness.
Yeah. That was a perfect one for work-life balance.
Yeah. Starting off strong, guys.
Are you looking to lose weight, but tired of all the quick fixes that don't work? It's time to try something different with Mochi Health. They combine science-backed medications like GLP-1s, including Ozempic and their generic versions, with personalized care to help you reach your weight loss goals. What's great about Mochi is that they make it so easy and accessible. You'll get visits from board-certified doctors, consultations with registered dietitians, and even have your medication delivered right to your door. And don't worry about insurance. Mochi is affordable regardless of your coverage. Their team works with you to create a nutrition plan that fits your lifestyle, making sure the changes you make are sustainable.
If you guys want to get started, make sure you guys head over to joinmochi.com and use the code ThreadTalk for $40 off your order. That's $40 off your order at joinmochi.com with our code ThreadTalk. I'll leave the link down in the description below to make it super easy for you guys to access.
All right. My next one is a good one.
Yeah.
This was posted one day ago.
Ooh,
hot off the press.
Fresh one off the press. Time to get some tea.
It's from Relationship Advice. I, 28 female, found out my husband, 29 male, has been telling his coworkers that I'm his sister. What do I do? Please help. Throwaway account because I don't use or understand Reddit, but I really need advice from someone not connected to me or my husband. My husband, I'll call him Josh, and I have been together for 6 years, married for 4, and we don't have kids. We have a really healthy and communicative relationship. We're both pretty easygoing, and I really love him. He started working at a large accounting firm about 3 years ago, and from what he tells me, he loves it there. He's made a lot of friends through his job, and he goes out with them for drinks and social events quite often, and I've been totally okay with that. I'm quite introverted, so I've never been interested in meeting his colleagues or work friends, nor have I asked to. I've got my own circle of friends, and I'm fine with us having separate friend groups. After what happened yesterday, it only just occurred to me that he has actually never asked me if I'd like to meet any of them or go to one of his work events. I guess that's important context. Anyways, I'll start with what happened a few months ago that I brushed off until now. I was at a bar with a couple of friends for Friday after work drinks, and a guy approached me. He was there with some friends too. He looked slightly familiar, but I hadn't met him before. He seemed friendly enough, and he asked me, quote, my name, right? I think I must have given him a confused look because he followed up with, I'm Jake, I work with Josh. I realized that I recognized him from some photos on my husband's phone. I don't have social media except for private Instagram, so I'm not sure if he posted the photos anywhere. But we've got a very trusting relationship, so I look in his photos sometimes. Don't hate me. This is where it gets a bit embarrassing. I'm a bit socially awkward, and so I struggled to end the conversation, but he kept talking to me, and I guess he was already a couple of beers deep. But while he was talking, he said something like, it's great that you guys are still so close. I haven't talked to my brother in ages. At this time, I was like, huh? But I just assumed he was drunk and not making sense, so I ignored it. He started to get a little flirty, so I turned to my friends, and we left shortly after that. I didn't say anything to them about it, and it didn't seem like a big deal to me. I also decided not to tell my husband that I had met his coworker Jake. Not to hide it, but because I figured the guy wouldn't even remember talking to me, and I didn't want to make it awkward for Josh at work by telling him that his colleague tried to hit on me. I just thought no harm, no foul. But yesterday morning, I was out walking my dog, Monty. He's a cross between a few breeds and has a very unique marking. This matters, I promise. And was on my way to my regular cafe, which is in town. I was waiting in line to order, and the guy in front was an older man. He got his coffee and turned around, but stopped and looked at my dog and goes, "Hello, Monty." Monty was super excited to see him, apparently, and so I guessed that the guy was another colleague of Josh's, because Josh brings the dog to the office a couple times a week. I thought it was sweet, to be honest, so I smiled at him and said hi. He introduced himself, I guessed correctly that he was a colleague, but then he said something like, "Aren't you a good sister walking his dog for him?" I was so confused that I didn't even know how to react at first, so I stumbled on my words and I just said, "It's my dog." I regret it, but I genuinely couldn't bring myself to correct him and say that I'm Josh's wife and not his sister. It was just too awkward, and I just wanted to leave because I think it was suddenly dawning on me what might have been going on. He asked me something about sharing a dog, but I was able to escape the conversation by being next in line to order my coffee, and then he left. I seriously don't know what to do because what the fuck? Do I even ask my husband about this? Part of me is just assuming or hoping that it's a mistake, that he doesn't talk about me much at work and they assume we are related because we both have brown hair, bracket question mark. But the thought that he has been telling his coworkers that I'm his sister, and evidently they have seen what I look like, so they must have seen photos, makes my stomach churn. I don't even know how I would breach the subject with him. I need some help. What would you guys do in this situation? I've only told one friend what happened because it's so weird and embarrassing, and she has jumped straight to time to plot his downfall because she's my ride or die and I love her. But I don't want to immediately assume the worst or ruin my marriage over something that could be nothing. I'm sorry for the long and rambly post, but I would really appreciate any advice.
That's fucked up. That's twice.
It's pretty clear what's happening.
Pretty clear. Nobody assumes somebody's your sister.
Yep.
Everybody at my work used to know of you as my hot girlfriend. And then my super hot fiance.
Yes, I remember that.
So
I would lose my mind. There's no way I would even question, like, asking you, confronting you about it.
No, you wouldn't? I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like, as soon as I get home, as soon as you come home,
slipper at
like,
his head as soon as he walks through the door, I'd be like, whatcha?
No, but, like, there's no way I would just be like, oh, what should I do? Like, I'm confronting you.
Oh, yeah.
Right then and there.
Immediate.
Like,
Immediately. Yeah. Immediate confrontation.
This is like, oh my God, I can't even imagine, like, her heart probably dropped to her feet.
Yeah.
The second time it happened. Okay, so there's an edit that I have not read yet. Holy fuck. Thank you everyone who commented with some advice. I haven't read all of them, but I really appreciate the suggestions from you guys. A small update. Josh came home at around 2:30 a.m. last night, but he was drunk, so he just went straight to sleep, which is fine by me because fuck having this conversation in that state. I just woken up, but he's still sleeping. First thing I want to clear up. I've seen a lot of people suggesting I have crippling social anxiety or am severely introverted, which I suppose you could glean from the way I explained what happened, but I'm not. I meant that I'm slightly introverted in that I'm not the most eager to meet lots of new people at once, especially a bunch of finance bros whose weekend consists of unending sports bar beers, where I assume I would be mansplained everything until my ears bleed. Prob a negative assumption, but I'm sure some of you know what I mean. I suppose you could say that I'm confrontation averse, in that I'm quite laid back and prefer to keep a conversation easy and positive. I don't know. I don't like it when things are awkward, and correcting when people misrecognize me is one of those things, but I'm not terrified of confrontation. Also, my husband and I do share some mutual friends. I didn't explain that well, but our lives are not entirely separate. The way he acts towards me around our mutual friends is extremely affectionate and normal. It is only his work friends that I have never interacted with. I have also seen some people suggest that what is going on is equivalent to my husband beating me and me hopelessly wondering whether I should break up with him.
The fuck?
Or that I'm stupid for thinking my relationship was healthy when it clearly isn't. Like, damn, cut me some slack. I'm a real person, and this is an entire alien and bizarre situation for me. My first reason wasn't to assume the worst, but I do appreciate that you all made me certain that it is a big deal. I guess I needed confirmation that the things that's happened are enough proof that Josh has been purposely lying and they weren't just mix-ups. I'm going to talk to him today and ask him directly why he's telling his coworkers that I'm his sister. I followed the advice of writing my points down so that they don't get lost if I get emotional, lol. I will do my best not to let him slither out of it, and I hope he has some proof that his colleagues know I'm his wife. I know that's not the theatrical confrontation you guys were hoping for, but it's a Saturday and I can't wait. Wish me luck. Thank you all.
God damn. Yeah, confrontation his ass.
Confront his ass.
No, I meant to say it that way.
Oh, okay.
I want a confrontation. I want to know why. And yeah, guys, chill the fuck out. Just because he's a fucking weirdo doesn't mean she's a problem. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's too far. People on Reddit do take it too far. Oh, there's no update. Damn it.
It's too hot, fresh off the press.
I think she's probably going to post one today because she said it's Saturday. And
Today is Saturday.
Today is Saturday.
Maybe we'll have an update for you guys on the next episode. Maybe that's a little reason that you should click that follow, that subscribe button, and make sure you guys come around for episode 41 next week.
Yes, please.
Wink, wink.
Okay, top comment. Walk up to him and ask directly, why are you telling your colleagues that I'm your sister? Sorry, but this is nothing where you beat around the bush.
First, throw the slipper at him.
Why do you always resort to violence?
That's not violence. It's harmless, unless you poke their eye out.
Yeah. Or concuss them.
It's a slipper.
If you have like those Ugg slippers, those are heavy.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I guess. Maybe.
Okay, let's move on.
All right, over to me. Am I the asshole for telling my boss to either fire their new employee or I'm gone? I have worked at a small local business for almost 12 years now. We have about 8 employees currently and are short-staffed. About 3 weeks ago, they hired some woman in her 50s who we are going to call Karen. Karen, in the beginning, was very appreciative of being hired on, as her husband is out of work following a car wreck and their home was in the process of foreclosure. She stated she had been searching for employment for months, but no one would hire her because she had zero employment history. She was always a stay-at-home wife, no kids. Now, in the beginning, Karen and I got along well enough, but shit started to hit the fan last week. She stated that she has 5 dogs, and I simply made the comment that I don't like dogs and I could never get one as a pet. I told her I like other people's dogs well enough, but could never have one of my own, basically. She took it as a personal attack, apparently. She turned around in her chair and avoided me for the rest of the shift. That night, my phone started blowing up with Facebook notifications from her. I don't even have her as a friend on there. She was going through and laugh reacting at every single photo of my children that were posted as public. If it wasn't bad enough, she then comments underneath a photo of my youngest 4-month-old child and quote, "Ooh, you don't like dogs, but you like these ugly things?"
Shut up.
Puking face emojis. And another comment not even 30 seconds later on a photo of my 12-year-old son and 10-year-old daughter saying gross. I screenshot everything and then block her. The next day I go to my boss and I hand over my phone with all the screenshots pulled up. I tell him either you fire her right now or I'm gone. I refuse to be in the same workplace as this bitch. Well, Karen just happened to walk into the office while I was there, and he immediately told her to collect the items from her desk and leave. She asked why, and he pointed to the screenshots on my phone and said, "This is why." And she started berating me, of course, because I got her fired when she desperately needs the money because they will lose their home and no one else will hire her, and she can't believe I'm being, quote, so sensitive, and that she, quote, just wanted me to know how she felt when I threw it in her face that I don't like dogs. Am I the asshole?
Nope. Not at all. Who's the sensitive one here? You got so butthurt that she didn't like dogs. She didn't say she didn't like your dog. She didn't like dogs in general. You went out of your way to find her Instagram, comment on photos of her kids, and say, gross, your kids are ugly? Come on. You're a monster. Oh my God.
That's not some good work-life balance. That work life is following you home there.
That's crazy. Like, oh my God. Gross is crazy.
Top comment. Not the asshole. I suspect that someone who's surprised that harassment will get her fired is the kind of person that's hard to hire. I doubt her lack of employment history has much to do with her financial woes.
No, honestly, true.
Yeah.
True. Stay-at-home wife, though, dream job.
It is a dream job. Stay-at-home husband, how about that?
Dream job.
Be great. All right, guys, podcast getting shut down now. Teresa's staying working the corporate life, and I'm going to be on the couch watching Netflix. All right, that's it. Back to you.
All right. Guys, with school around the corner, busier days are upon us, so it's time to fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Whether you're aiming for a calorie smart, protein plus, or keto plan, Factor has you covered with chef-crafted meals that are dietitian approved and ready in just 2 minutes. With 35 meals and over 60 add-ons each week, you'll never get bored and can always explore new flavors. Imagine restaurant-quality dishes like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon, without the hassle of shopping, prepping, or cooking. Kickstart your healthy routine today with Factor and enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with nutritious, delicious options. What are you waiting for? Make every day delicious with Factor.
So head over to factormeals.com/threadtalk50 and use our code threadtalk50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code threadtalk50 at factormeals.com/threadtalk50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month's order while your subscription is active. All right, let's get back to the stories.
Am I the asshole for calling my coworker work sister after she called me work husband in front of everyone? Not gonna lie, this one triggered me.
Teresa hates the work wives and the work husband terms because you've always been working at home for the last 4 years. So then I'm the one going off. So she definitely don't want to hear about my work wife when I was at a dealership.
What do you mean your work wife?
Well, we had this conversation. I like to consider Chloe my work bestie.
That's okay, different. I like Chloe. The other girls. Okay. I, 34 male, work in a small office and we have about 30 people working here. Mary, 35 female, is one of my coworkers. We have been working together for 6 years now. We have 6 people in our department and we have to frequently travel across the state as our work involves overseeing government projects. We always travel in a group of 2. Although my travel partner changes based on the project, Mary and I are generally put on similar projects and enjoy each other's company. My wife also likes Mary. Overall, we have a very healthy work relationship. On to the incident. Yesterday, we had a happy hour in our office, and we were all drinking after work hours and chatting. It was a group of around 10 people that stayed back. Mary was blabbering about how we have both been traveling together so much in the last year. She was roasting me for my habits while traveling, like always forgetting stuff in my hotel room, being sweaty and stinky when I joined her for breakfast in the mornings, because I go to the hotel gym. Everyone was laughing and she was making it sound how unbearable I was to tag along with, all in good fun. I also told some funny and sweet stories about her and agreed with her saying that I could be difficult to be with sometimes. Mary came to me and hugged me tightly and told me that she loves me and I am her work husband. It was all innocent on surface, but she might have been a bit drunk and just didn't let go of her tight hug. Also, I hate that phrase, as I do have a wife that I promise to be with forever, and not just in non-working hours. After a few seconds, I started becoming uncomfortable, and also saw a few people staring at us. So, to diffuse the situation, I took her hands off my shoulder and told her she was my work sister, and that is why I love to annoy her so much. That seemed to have upset Mary, and she left and went back to her desk and was sobbing silently. I tried to apologize to her, but she told me how embarrassing the whole situation was. She said that she just meant work husband in platonic way, but me calling her work sister made her sound like a creep in front of the whole office. She was also angry that I aggressively removed her hand from my shoulder while hugging. I tried to reason with her that I do not like the work husband phrase, and also people gave dirty looks when she said it. So I was just trying to make sure people do not take her words in the wrong way. We talked for a few minutes afterwards and Mary calmed down. She hugged me again and left. I felt really guilty afterwards because I can see Mary's point. I made her sound like a creep by implying that she meant something inappropriate when she called me her work husband. However, I was a bit uncomfortable in that situation and just did not want people to call us that or assume something wrong. Am I the asshole for calling Mary my work sister? I am sitting in my office writing this and a bit worried if I embarrassed Mary in front of everyone.
I mean, are you the asshole for it? No. Did you embarrass Mary? Clearly. But is that really your fault? Nah, not really. She's going a little overboard there.
Yeah, okay. I think it's totally fair. He was uncomfortable.
He was uncomfortable.
So what did you want him to do? Like, just be there, like, uncomfortably, like, hugging you? Like,
don't disregard his feelings.
No, because, like, if it were me as a woman and someone did that to me and I felt uncomfortable, like...
You'd be like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah, like, I think, like, I don't know. There's, like, I feel like when it happens to a guy, it's, like, not taken seriously. It's, like... Oh, because you're a guy, like, I don't know, the norm is like, oh yeah, like, you want girls to, like, fall for you and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I think she had this perspective, and I'm obviously jumping to conclusions here and assuming things, but I think she maybe had this perspective, like, he would like it, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it would flatter him.
Yep.
But it obviously made him uncomfortable, and...
Wasn't very flattering.
No, and he has every right to... stop something from happening if he is uncomfortable. Like, that's what we teach women.
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, he has every right to react that way.
Imagine I came home and I said, oh my God, Mary wrapped her arms around me today and called me her work husband.
No.
And then I had to take her arms off and I joked that she was my work sister, but then she went and cried in the corner.
I would be livid.
Be like, who's this bitch? Who the fuck is this?
Would actually be livid. Guys, I'm such a jealous bitch sometimes. Like,
you really were. Like, oh my God. I would when I started at BMW, I'd come home and I would, talk about coworkers. Who the fuck is that? You never mentioned her before. And then I got a new manager, and my manager was a female. Why the fuck could they hire a female manager? I'm like, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. We need more. We need some like female sales staff. All the fucking sales guys are men.
I was like, obviously joking, guys.
Yeah. But she gets really jealous.
Yes, I do get jealous.
She's like, you've never talked about her before. I'm like, I've literally mentioned her 7 times. She's like, why do you know the accountant person's name? Because I have to go down there for my job.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay. I got you.
Okay, so there is an update that I have not read yet.
Oh, damn.
Got more upvotes than the first post, so I think it's juicy.
$10 says Mary went to HR.
Ooh, okay. A lot of you are asking for an update, but that sub does not allow me to post an update, so I'm writing it here. Thanks everyone for your comments and giving me confidence that I did not do anything wrong or inappropriate. As I was sitting in office the next day, I knew things would be a bit awkward between Mary and me. Mary ignored me the whole morning. Initially, I was planning to go and apologize to her, but after the post, I decided that I did not need to do that, as I should be the one who was offended. Everyone in the office could see that we were acting weird, and I heard some people gossiping about us. One of the ladies also came to me and asked me if I want to talk about Mary and me. Around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, I was sitting in the office working. Mary came into my office and closed the door behind her. She was angry at me and started saying that I need to stop being an asshole and stop ignoring her. I told her to sit down and to talk about what's going on. She told me that she feels humiliated and everyone has been staring at her the whole morning because of what I did. I also stood my ground and told her that I was okay with her making fun of me, but calling me her work husband and hugging me in front of everyone for a long time made the situation awkward. So she told me to get over myself and that I should know exactly what she meant. Mary said that I made a big deal of what was supposed to be a joke and made it awkward for everyone. She said calling someone work husband is a normal thing and just means that she knows me intimately like a spouse would. I'm triggered. She said that because we spend so much time traveling together, she knows all the intimate details of how I behave outside of work. I stopped her and told her that I felt offended by the term work husband because I have a wife and I do not want people to use that term to describe our relationship. I told her that she would not understand as she is single, but as a married man, I really do not want anyone to describe me as a husband in any capacity. She said that I am, again, misinterpreting what she's saying. She felt that we have known each other more time than I have been married. She knows me more intimately than even my wife. I have no idea why she feels that way. And I also behave like her husband when we travel together. She went on about how we go out to dinners together after work, how I always insist on having breakfast together in the morning to plan our actions of the day, and I walk around in my underwear, referring to my gym shorts, around in the mornings. She also talked about how we spend hours talking to each other during road trips and how I am the only man she can trust with any secret in her life. She said that I am the definition of a work husband and I am just in denial. I was a bit angry at this point. I told her that I do all that because I consider her my friend and she is delusional and she feels she knows me more intimately than my wife. I told her I do not want to hear that term again and it is extremely disrespectful to my marriage. Only one woman gets to call me her husband and that is my wife. Moreover, if my actions are giving her such ideas, maybe we need to stop being friends. She became apologetic afterwards and told me that she did not mean to disrespect my wife and it was not her intention. She apologized to me and told me to just let it go. She said that she loves traveling with me and she does not want anything to change between us. She again said that I am misinterpreting her statement and just wants to move on. She came to hug me again, but I told her it was okay and stepped back. I also talked to my wife about the incident that night. As expected, my wife was angry at Mary and told me that she hates the term work husband. She asked me if Mary has ever flirted with me during our trips or has a crush on me. I truthfully told her that I really have not felt that way, and she may have just said that because she was a bit drunk and is now being stubborn about it. My wife said that she feels a bit uncomfortable about Mary now and says that it's strike one for Mary and I need to try to put more distance between us while traveling. If she ever repeats the same behavior again, I should report her to HR. I promised my wife that I would try to reduce my interactions with Mary outside of work hours and be more guarded around her.
Yo, Mary's crazy.
She's in love with him.
I was going to say,
clear.
she wants an affair or she wants to be the wife. Like, it's very clear that she's in love with him.
Yes.
She can only tell him certain things and she knows his intimate thoughts. Like, bro, you're not my wife. I told you once that I don't like that thing and you just doubled down on it. No, you don't understand. No, lady, you don't understand. You're not my work wife. I don't want you to be my work wife. I don't care if that's what you think in your head. I'm not on board with this, so stop. For the love of God, stop.
And okay, I guess this is where my insecurity comes when you went to work. Nothing that you ever did made me distrust you.
No, because I'm amazing.
You are. You are perfect. But it's just that I think women, and me as a woman, I think we take little things too far. We take being respectable, being respectful. Oh my God. Being respectful and just being friendly. We take that as flirting. And that's exactly how Mary, this is spiraled in Mary's head. And all of those things that they were saying, they go for dinners together. I don't know, they have late night chats and everything. That was making my blood boil because I just know women see that as something different than men. Normally, obviously I'm very, I'm giving this stereotype here, but I think that's why I was jealous all the time.
Yeah, I see that.
Because see how easy this can happen. The man has no idea, and
Clueless.
then you have this woman that's in love with you,
deeply.
Yeah,
deeply in love.
There's a small update. Thanks everyone for the comments and explaining the urgency of the situation. I discussed it with my wife and have set up meetings with my manager and HR today. I plan to not file a complaint, but document what happened last week and why it made me uncomfortable. I do not have any upcoming travels this week due to holidays, but have to travel next Tuesday with her to a work site. I will discuss with my manager on what my options are. However, I feel a little distance between Mary and me for some time would be the right solution for now.
Yeah, distance that shit, bro. Stop eating dinner with her when you do travel. Stop eating breakfast with her and just keep it work related.
Exactly.
Stop talking about stuff. When you are traveling for work, put on a podcast like ThreadTalk and keep it silent.
Listen to us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Top comment, not the asshole. I agree you should go to HR so they're aware of the situation. I would also suggest no more business trips with her if possible. The fact that she claims to know you more intimately than your wife is not only delusional and disrespectful, it's concerning. She's only beginning to show her crazy side.
I agree with that. Very concerned. I'm concerned over here. I am very concerned.
This one triggered me so bad. Okay, I have to talk about that one incident at work with you. Your work. Do you remember when people were complimenting your butt? I need you guys to let me know in the comments if I was a crazy bitch. But all the girls.
Yeah, there was a period at BMW.
No, it wasn't BMW.
No, it was BMW.
It was Lexus.
No, it was BMW, wasn't it?
No, it was Lexus. 100% it was Lexus. I know who it was.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was Lexus. No, then it happened twice because it happened BMW too.
What?
Didn't it?
With who?
With all the girls again.
You're fucking joking.
I could have swore I told you this.
When?
I don't freaking know. A long time ago now.
Who?
In the middle of working there.
Who?
It would have been like...
Okay, you bleep the names when you're editing, but tell me.
Beep, beep, and beep.
Who?
I just told you. I don't know how to beep names.
Oh, fuck. Okay, you gotta tell me later. Okay, no, but like... Well, I remember the first time it happened. They were like touching your butt too.
What? Nobody touched
Weren't
my
they
butt.
poking it?
I don't remember that. I can't confirm that. I don't remember that.
Okay, well, guys, am I crazy for that? For being upset?
I got a nice butt.
Deborah has a large
Bootylicious.
buttocks.
And my suit pants were always
Very-
tailored tight.
Yes. And they would bring it up in all the fucking conversations. Right?
Yeah, it came and goes. It would like last for like, it would be a joke for like a week or two and then they would go disappear.
But like, if that happened to me, how would you feel?
It's inappropriate. It's a double standard.
How is it? I'm upset.
No, I just mean if I was a female at work and I'm getting everybody's the opposite sex is talking about how big my butt is and calling me buttylicious, I would be like, that's inappropriate. But because I'm a guy, I'm supposed to just deal with it and I'm just supposed to be okay with it.
Well, you should have shut them down and said, I'm uncomfortable.
You don't think I tried? I fucking said for 2 weeks straight, guys, stop talking about my fucking butt.
I feel like you said it jokingly.
No.
When you get upset, people know.
Well,
they wouldn't have continued.
Okay, well, obviously, I didn't let myself get mad and freak out about it. That doesn't mean on the inside that I'm not happy with it.
You could have set firmer boundaries, I think. Guys, we're rehashing this live.
I'm sure a lot of people out there have felt people cross the line with them and they don't want to turn into the angry person at workplace and then get labeled as the angry person. And you just have to fucking take the harassment and turn your cheek. And I'm sure a lot of people feel like that regardless of what sex they are.
Yes.
And it's probably more for women. And I'm sorry you guys have to go through that.
Yes. This is true.
Fucking bullshit.
Anyways, let me know if I'm a crazy bitch. But that made me go freaking berserk. Like,
berserker mode.
I lost it. I was so happy when you moved places. I hated that girl. Guys.
I think she left before I did. Yeah, she did.
Oh, does she?
Which one? The problem with when I was at Lexus, there was only like 3 guy salespeople and there was like 6 females. Mm-hmm. Like there was Chloe.
Okay, we don't need to name all of them.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember myself. I'm like, wait, it's like there was just a bunch of them. And the receptionists. Teresa always gets jealous whenever a new receptionist got hired. Because it was always a female. Always a young female. So Teresa was getting jealous. Jealous.
Let's move on.
Oh yeah, do you want to move on?
Yeah.
You got any, before I get into my next story, you got any work stories you want to
I think we just
throw
talked
it
too
on
much.
the air?
We talked too much.
Well, okay, fine. After this story.
Sure.
Maybe. I'm trying to think in my head if I have any stories I want to talk about, but maybe I'll just save it right to the end.
I have a couple relative to my stories.
Okay, cool. So this one went from Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my husband to lose the entitled attitude and do shit for himself? Just recently, my husband, 31, was promoted to assistant manager of the warehouse. We both work up to 50 hours per week. I am a shift manager at a behavioral disorder facility. Both jobs are very hands-on and strenuous. Since his promotion, he has developed an entirely different attitude. Extremely entitled and, dare I say, rude as fuck. He is always boasting and bragging, and this has been going on for 3 weeks. So, some examples are as followed. On his days off, he wants the house to be radio silent. If our 4-year-old wants to play, he tells her to stick to her bedroom because he needs peace and quiet after, quote, working so hard. If I make our daughter lunch, he will immediately say, where's mine? He asks me to grab him things damn near constant all hours of the night. He expects nightly back rubs, but if I ask, he will scoff at me and say, I worked all day. He expects meals that he likes every night, regardless if me or our daughter like the meal or not. He also now acts like he has full say over the money because he makes a bit more. Last night was the tip of the iceberg for me. Before this, I let a lot of shit slide because it was a recent promotion and hell, he's excited. So I get it. But last night, around 11 p.m., as I was in bed scrolling through my phone, he comes into the bedroom, lays down and says, babe, you should go make me some ice cream. I want the chocolate drizzle on it. Oh, and don't forget the cashews. Then he starts scrolling through his phone. I ignore it because I feel at this point I'm going to snap. He then shook my leg and said, did you hear me? So I responded with, yeah, I did hear you. And no, go make it yourself. You were literally just out there. Your sense of fucking entitlement is getting way out of line. Do shit for yourself. He became offended and instantly, like fucking clockwork, said, but I worked all day. So I snapped back with, yeah, I did too. In fact, I worked 12 hours to your 8. Like I said, do shit for yourself. He is now saying that he is not acting entitled and that I was just taking my bad day out on him, that everything I said makes him feel unappreciated. So am I the asshole? Did I push it too far?
No. Very obviously not. I would just like to know how many times he said, oh, but I worked all day, and you just sat there and like didn't say, yeah, me too. Back?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like she said, he's excited for his new job, and she understood that at first, but now it's too much.
Okay, but how stupid do you have to be to not realize that your wife also worked more hours than you? How are you going to sit there and say that to her?
Yeah.
No, this is it's giving like he expects, like, I don't know, he thinks that he's the freaking breadwinner now, so he wants her to be like the traditional wife, and you know.
Yeah, I would be like, sure, honey, no problem, but I'll get you the ice cream if you pay me to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you pay me so that I don't have to work 12-hour days, and I'll stay at home and get you your ice cream. Do you make enough money to afford that? Oh, no, you don't, because you only make a little bit more than I do? Stop!
Yeah, no, he needed to be put in his place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have let it get this far, personally.
I mean, the first time.
Yeah, the first time I would have been like, no.
Bro, get up and fill the water bottle yourself. Do you think that's similar? Do you think it's similar as if like
go make me ice cream?
Isn't that the same thing as if one of us is sitting on the couch under the blanket and they're like, can you fill my water bottle for me? Order, please. Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's different.
Don't forget the ice.
No, I never say that.
I know, but it'd be like the ice is cashews.
Yeah, but I think the difference is like he's expecting it. Whereas me, I'm hopeful. I'm like, please, 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 begging you.
You're hopeful with a tinge of expectancy because I've done it so much for you. When you ask me, you're hopeful I'll do it because I usually do it. So therefore, you are slightly expecting me to do it. You are hopeful in that expectanciness stuff.
Chivalry is not that, guys.
Not with me, it's not. And we'll both be sitting on the couch. And you'll be like, and you please give me water.
Guys, I'm a camel. I drink a lot of water.
I can't even believe it, guys. You have no freaking idea. This woman, Teresa, fucking camel over here, goes through 7 liters of water a day. I don't even know how to explain it, man. Like, I don't know. Always needs to have water. And then she's got to pee every 15 minutes.
Yes. Price I gotta pay.
Yeah. I remember this tonight. Can you make me some ice cream? I worked all day.
I work just as much as you.
Yeah.
It's a Saturday.
Literally. And like, you're an assistant manager of a warehouse. I worked in a warehouse. Managers didn't lift and they weren't hands-on or strenuous.
I'm sure it's different
so
everywhere.
I would love to know what kind of warehouse this was.
Yours was a really big company, though.
Caterpillar. Tormont. My managers... They didn't lift shit. They weren't allowed. It was actually in the, I guess it was a big company. It was in the union. Yeah. They weren't allowed to do, they were not allowed to touch the parts. Like if there was literally no one there and we all went out on strike, in the contract agreement, they were not allowed to touch the parts. So even if everyone was busy, she couldn't like go get something for herself. My manager was a woman, so I just remember her. She couldn't go get them herself, so we had to do it. So yeah, I don't know. Every manager's different though. My bad. Top comment on this. Not the asshole. Someone needs to knock your husband off his high horse.
Yeah. You
two need to have a serious talk that at home you're equals and he's not the boss. Hell, if he's treating employees like this, things won't go well at work either. Husband and I work an equal amount of hours, so we split the chores and take turns cooking. Sounds like he needs to pitch in too.
Period.
We used to split our chores. Now I do most of the chores. I do the dishwasher. I do the laundry. I clean. Not as often as Teresa likes, but I clean. And I make Teresa's tea a lot, and I fill up Teresa's water all the time, and I take her. But
apparently you complain about that though.
Whatever, I still do it, and I clean up all the dishes around her work desk because she'll get like a snack and then she'll leave the bowl there for 7 hours or like the teacup there for 7 hours, and I'm always like cleaning those up and doing the dishwasher because, yeah. I have the time to do it. So now that I feel bad because Teresa's working 8 hours a day and I have about a 20-hour work week now with what my schedule is like. So I feel bad. So I try to pick up the slack and I try to do most of the house stuff so that when Teresa gets off work, she doesn't have to spend her time doing house stuff. It wouldn't be fair if Teresa's working 8 hours a week, 40 hours a week, and I only work 20 hours a week and then I don't do any house chores. That would not be fair of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome. Love you.
Love you.
Love you. Can you get me some water? Oh, thank you for sharing your water with me. You actually filled this one up.
I did.
Yeah.
I almost asked you to do it. I remember thinking I was going to ask you to do it.
I would love if there was like cameras inside our house with like an AI program that like watched what we do, and I could be like, "Hey Jarvis, how much percentage pie does Teresa fill up her water bottle versus how much do I fill up the water for Teresa's water bottle?" And they gave us like the percentage pie.
Mine would be more.
It would be like 60% me.
No, it wouldn't. Because I get up like every hour of my day.
Because she's a camel, guys.
Yes, Does
anybody else drink a shit ton of water?
It's supposed to be good for you.
Actually, I heard if you drink too much water, you're draining nutrients out of your body. You're supposed to have like a balance.
No. False info.
You heard it here first, folks. Teresa's
Fake news.
Teresa's a part-time scientist, if you guys
didn't know. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
This one, I put this one in this category.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a job.
Oh, so this isn't even work-life balance. This is barely in the work category.
Let's just listen. Listen. Okay.
I hope it's good.
Am I the asshole? This was also posted one day ago. 10,000 upvotes. So
what I have noticed that because I create the category and then Teresa has to search for stories, she has more recent stories. Yeah. Where mine, like that last one, that was from 4 years ago, guys. That was an all-time. That was like a top one, but from a while ago.
Yeah, good balance.
Good balance.
Right. Am I the asshole for telling teenage boys to quote-unquote fucking stop? I, 22 male, went on a trip to a theme park with my church's youth group yesterday. I'm one of the chaperones.
Job,
right?
Volunteer job.
Good. And the kids are mostly teenagers, around 13 to 16 years old. For the most part, they're good kids, but they can be a bit rowdy, especially when they're in a big group. While we, myself, and 5 or 6 boys, were waiting in line for one of the rides, there was a woman standing in front of us who looked to be around my age, early 20s female. She was wearing a tank top and shorts, not even booty shorts, mid-thigh length, nothing outrageous, just typical summer clothes you would see in a mall clothing store. However, some of the boys in our group decided that she wasn't dressed modestly enough. Women in our church typically wear ankle-length skirts and sleeves to the elbows. They started clapping loudly in her ears, making comments about how she should cover up, and even going as far as lightly touching her arm and shoulder to get her attention. One even grabbed her hips. She was visibly uncomfortable, but seemed too shocked or scared to say anything. I watched this go on for about a minute, expecting them to stop on their own, but they didn't. It was getting worse, and I felt awful for not stepping in sooner. Finally, I snapped and told them to fucking stop harassing her. I didn't yell, but I was firm and clear. They immediately looked shocked and embarrassed, and thankfully they did stop. Later, one of the other chaperones pulled me aside and told me I shouldn't have used that language in front of the kids, saying it was inappropriate and not setting a good example. He said I should have found a gentler way to correct them and that I overreacted. He also reminded me that using swear words is sinful. I don't usually use language like that, especially around kids. But in the moment, I was more concerned with getting them to stop harassing this woman. Now I'm second-guessing myself. Maybe I could have handled it better, but I also feel like what they were doing was way out of line and needed to be shut down immediately. Am I the asshole for cussing at them?
$10? That other chaperone is a male.
Oh, 100%.
Fucking disgusting. I'm enraged right now. You're lucky that's all you said. If it was me, the amusement park day is done. We're done. We're leaving. You're not only am I like taking you out of the line, I'm kicking you out of the park. I will drag you by your collar out of the park. You never lay your hands on another person, not to mention after verbally abusing and then touching a female. I would be livid. You'd get more than you need to fucking stop. I want to strangle somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to go off on this tangent again because I did this a couple episodes, but this is a religious thing. Like, she's dressed modestly. Like, it makes me so angry of like the people that have these opinions. They're just teenagers. They were taught this. This is what they were taught. They were taught by their church that she is showing too much skin.
Yeah.
They were taught by their elders, by somebody, that they are wearing not enough clothes. They're not wearing enough. They're showing too much skin. That was taught to them by someone. They weren't a freaking baby and grew up and was like, I know how much clothes somebody should wear.
Yeah.
That was taught by somebody else.
Everything is taught.
Everything is taught. So me as a chaperone, I would never volunteer to chaperone again. I wouldn't want to be around that church. I am absolutely disgusted by that behavior. But I'm just thinking, if for some reason I was in this situation, my reaction to this situation would be of a hell of a lot worse than you need to fucking stop. I would have dragged them by their collar, or like I would have dragged them out of that line. At first, I think that would be the consequence. Like, oh, you don't get to ride this line. Maybe we'll go to another line. But they're like, no, why stop there? Your whole amusement park day is done. That is assault. That is a soft assault. Like, you touched another person.
No, it is.
That's assault. You touched her hips. That could honestly be classified as sexual assault. I would actually, before I drag them out of the line, I would ask her and be like, excuse me, would you like me to go get a security guard so you can press charges against them?
Yeah, literally.
Would you like me to do that? Do you realize what you just did was assault? And then I would drag them out and I'd ruin the day. Nobody learns a lesson if there's no consequences.
Exactly.
If you touch somebody inappropriate in line and then your chaperone, your leader, says, that's it, your day's done, you're not riding any more rides for the day, we're packing up, we're going home early for the day. That shit's going to resonate with a 13-year-old. That's a consequence. It's not, oh, if you do that again, we're going to have to leave and stuff like that. No, that's bad behavior. That happened. Instant consequence. There's no warning for that. It's an instant consequence so that it doesn't happen again. Because if you just go, oh, don't do that. If you do that again, we're going to leave. They'll try and get away with it without you seeing.
Exactly.
They'll try and get away with it wherever else they can. But if you shut that shit down, an immediate consequence, they will forever think, if I ever do anything like that, it's going to get shut down right away. Not this warning, soft bullshit that... I'm sorry. I just get so riled up. I
you have a right to be enraged because this was enraging.
It's disgusting behavior.
Yeah.
I am disgusted, and yeah, I don't want to anger anybody else, but I feel like there's a reason where this is coming from, and it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I love how enraged you are because I feel like people don't take this seriously. Like people think like you're just. Like, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people would think that it's not a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. Like,
and this other chaperone person, whatever you want, but $100 says it's a male.
Yeah. 100%.
Fucking bullshit.
Top comment. You didn't go far enough. Shame on those little assholes. I'd have gathered everyone and left the park and explained that since they couldn't exhibit the most basic level of respect, they didn't deserve a fun day. And fuck that other chaperone. Those kids needed a verbal slap in the face. It was totally appropriate. He wanted you to gently correct literal verbal and physical sexual harassment. Oh, hell to the fuck no. Sinful? Saying fuck is more sinful than actual assault of a woman? Do not second guess yourself except for the ridiculously out-of-date church you belong to. Women have to cover up to be modest around men. Otherwise, they'll be sexually harassed and assaulted. Join the 21st century, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what you just said.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. Sorry if that made everybody mad, but...
No, you need to set them straight right away.
Yeah, they're never going to learn. 13-year-old boys are brutal.
Fucking
brutal.
Assholes.
Yeah. They need to learn.
I need to reset myself here, guys.
Sorry.
All right. Let's get a little bit. Let's get the mood back up.
Okay.
Let's get the mood back up.
Let's go.
I don't have any that bring the mood back up. This is probably. Hopefully this is okay. Hopefully this one does the trick. Am I the asshole for yelling at my wife after she blew up my phone calls because of a fire? I work in a place where we are not allowed to have personal electronics on us at all. No phones, no smartwatches, no pagers. I've been working here for about 6 months, so my wife knows this and understands that she should not try to contact me by cell at work. Phones are dropped off in her lockers and I typically have mine on Do Not Disturb. Before this incident, my phone has never gone off in the locker before. Recently, there was a pretty big fire at a secondary work site that I work at occasionally, but that day I was working at the main building. Local news covered the fire before I found out about it because, again, no electronics. Plus, the work we do isolates us a bit, so news travels pretty slowly. There were a few casualties, a lot of seriously injured folk. My wife had been watching the news from home and started freaking out, I guess. She called me 20 freaking times, which overrode my Do Not Disturb, and my phone was ringing for a while in my locker. In the middle of my shift, I got called into the manager's office and was chewed out and written up for my phone making so much noise. They told me to go take care of whatever it is that was making my phone go off before I went back to work. I won't lie, when I saw those 20 missed calls from my work, I was seriously pissed off. Like I said, she knows not to try to contact me directly, and a citation hurt my chances of getting a raise or promotion. I called her back and she was sobbing, asking if I was okay. I said of course I was, and asked what the fuck was wrong with her to call me so many times. She was still crying and started talking about the fire. After that, I started half yelling at her about all the reasons it was dumb of her to call me. When I got home, she was super upset with me. I apologized for yelling, but she refused to talk. She's been very chilly the past few days and sleeping in her daughter's room. I know it was not the best decision to yell at her, but I still think my anger was justified because 1, she knows I don't work at the secondary location very often. 2, she knows that I can't be contacted directly and she could have just called the office. 3, 20 calls is absolutely insane. So am I the asshole?
I don't think people are going to agree with me with this one, but yeah, I think you are the asshole. I think your wife was terrified for your life. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, in that moment, like, she literally thinks that you're dead. Like,
the part where he says, I called her back and she was sobbing. So at this point, he sees 20 missed phone calls. He doesn't know about the fire yet. So he starts the story with the fire. But imagine that he didn't start the story, and he started the story saying, I got pulled in and I got chewed out because my phone was going off so many times. And then when I picked up the phone call, I was angry at her, but then she explained that a fire was happening at one of my work locations.
Then he should have like calmed down and realized.
You would think he'd be like, oh, holy shit, a fire happened over there? Oh, yeah. I can see why you called me 20 times because you're worried I'm not alive.
Yeah.
And me not picking up is kind of telling you that I'm not alive.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like, okay, so wait, you're on my side?
Oh, yeah,
I'm
on your side.
Okay, good.
Everyone's on your side. It's tagged asshole.
Thank God. I was like, I don't know. People will probably say not the asshole because he got in shit for it and he told her not to call her and stuff. But
yeah, top comment. You're the asshole. Holy fuck, she was concerned for your safety. Also, you just have your phone on silent, then it won't matter how many times people call or text you. Well, that's not true. Do not disturb does get overridden if you the same person consistently keeps calling.
No, but if you have your phone on silent, it won't make noise.
Oh, yeah. If you have your phone on silent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I guess he's a ringtone kind of person.
Well, that's on you, buddy.
Yeah, put your phone on vibrate, bro.
You can't. Okay, also, these are stupid ass rules that your company has.
Where do you work?
No, literally, where do you work? Because is it like...
You work at NASA? Not even NASA, like the CIA, where you have to like dock in all of your electrical equipment so that you don't steal proprietary information or something, or like a proprietary startup. Like, where the hell do you work,
I was thinking
bro?
like something sketchy like Scientology or something.
Okay, that too. Like,
but no, but like also, I don't know, because you can't... For them to reprimand you for your phone ringing when it's in the locker, can't control outside, like...
That's a bullshit reprimand.
That is bullshit. Like, okay, fine, if you don't allow
maybe he should have turned off his phone, like completely powered it down,
I guess. But then that's on you, buddy. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
You can't control...
I'm so sorry that your wife loves you so much and was panicking.
Oh my God. I would so fast go from like scared, sad, and worried to like just raging. If you like called me like upset because I was calling you, oh my God.
Yeah.
The way like I would switch. And another thing, like at that point when they gave you that warning or whatever, they probably also didn't know about the fire. So I'm hoping maybe when they find out about the fire, like they will, like if you tell them the situation, hey, look, my wife was worried for my life. Like,
yeah, the other building was on fire.
Like, can you just like,
can I not have a reprimand,
let this
please?
slide?
Like, yeah, like it's literally a life and death situation. Some people did die at the other location.
This is not worth having a job over. Like,
she shouldn't have been so angry because she knows I don't work there very often. What if you were working there today? There was a chance. What are you talking about, bro?
Buddy, no.
He doesn't deserve her.
No,
she
he
deserves
doesn't.
someone better.
I agree.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's so secretive of your workplace, bro?
Yeah. Does he give?
Work for the CIA? The only thing I can see here is one comment he says, They did contact me. They pulled me out from where I was working and told me to go take care of it. I understand why my manager was upset. The people in the office aren't in the field, but they do sensitive work as well. What sensitive work?
I need to know. No, but seriously, this is not worth it. I feel like if you're going to get in trouble for like your work or your phone going off, like.
Yeah. Like I cannot like I can understand if there's sensitive information and you're not allowed to have your phone.
Fine.
But what company is getting you in trouble because
your phone's going off?
There's an emergency with your family and your phone's going off.
Exactly. Like, it's sketchy. It's weird. I don't know. Even NASA. I don't know what kind of like work they do and stuff, but like, I feel like they wouldn't be like, you're in trouble for this.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's like sketchy, something sketchy. I don't know.
Right? This reminds me of the time that you called me like 5 times in a row and you got pissed at me and you told me never to, if I'm calling 4 times in a row, there's something wrong.
Duh.
I just thought you want to know what we were getting for dinner. I didn't know you had nail polish in your eyeballs and you thought you were going to go blind. We had to go to the hospital. Just trying to sell a Lexus. Trying to get that commission.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
That one was not a light one. That one made me mad.
I feel like different kind of mad.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like a mad because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting into my strictly work stories.
Work-life balance is
actually this one, I guess, kind of applies to work-life balance. Maybe.
See how that last one was work-life balance? It was like the wife at home was calling him at work, and that's like work and life is meeting, and where's the balance here?
Yeah.
Where's the balance in that situation? He didn't have any.
Yeah. All right. This one comes from Recruiting Hell.
Pikachu.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm Cyclops. Anybody else see Deadpool? We went and saw Deadpool the other day.
We did.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Deadpool and Wolverine. It was really good. But this is not the life update segment, so my apologies. But before Teresa gets into our story, don't forget to check out our Patreon, guys, because we have 1 bonus episode every week. That's 4 bonus episodes per week for our Patreon. So check us out.
Per month.
There's Patreon Spotify, Patreon video, and early access to this episode on the Patreon, ad-free, and lots of good stuff on our Patreon. Links down below. Check us out. Thank you very much. Okay, Teresa, go.
Thank you very much. All right, this one comes from Recruiting Hell. Snapchat took back offer letter after I quit my job. It all started a month ago. I had a decent job where I worked in accounts payable management for the last 8 years. One day, I got an email from a recruiter from Snapchat asking if I would be interested in their management role. I was feeling a bit stagnant in my current role, so I thought, what the heck? It was more money, and it was for a company everybody knows. I started the interview process. The first one was with a recruiter, a nice enough guy. We discussed how we both have daughters and enjoy working in tech companies. The second was with my would-be director. Again, a nice enough lady. The third, fourth, and fifth interviews were ones with other teams not associated with my current role. The first guy came to the meeting 8 minutes late and mentioned he didn't know he was supposed to be interviewing. The second was a woman who didn't seem like she knew much about my role, but it was a pleasant conversation nonetheless. The third was with the director, and we had a pleasant conversation. After the 2-hour interview process, the recruiter emailed me asking how it went and mentioned that everybody liked me and they'd be making a decision in a few days. While this was going on, I was also interviewing for another position at Deloitte. They sent me an offer letter the day before I had my interview with Snapchat. Thus, I put in my 2-week notice. A week later, I got a call from the recruiter letting me know that I had a job and that they'd be sending me an offer letter. I told my wife, friends, and family we were all excited about this new journey for me. After I received the offer letter the next day, I called Deloitte and let them know that I had accepted another position at a different company. A few days later, I started being spammed with background requests on Workday information I needed to fill out. While filling out everything, I noticed the background company was asking for my degree. I spoke with my recruiter and informed him that my resume doesn't show I graduated from college. I took a few classes, but left when my father became ill. I told him the job requirement said bachelor degree or equivalent experience. He said he'd double check and to continue filling out the requests coming in. More than a week passed. He called me and said he'd have to rescind the offer letter as equivalent experience is 10 years. He mentioned I have 9 years and 4 months on my resume. I told him I could go back further into my employment history. I just didn't think what I was doing 11 to 13 years ago was relevant. He said to add that to my resume and send it back. I did. A couple of days passed, and today he called me saying it's 16 years of experience that was needed for the role. When I asked him why they didn't notice that before asking me to apply, he apologized but said the decision comes from people who are higher than him. There's nothing they can do. I was letting him have it pretty good, and he kept apologizing and saying he doesn't know how this happened. I told him I quit my job and turned down another offer to work with you guys, and all you can say is sorry. He got quiet and said, I don't know what to say. I can't imagine being in your position. I'm shell-shocked. I have a wife and daughter who are depending on me. I feel like I was lied to, and now I don't have my old job, and Deloitte said the position they offered me is no longer available. I'm completely lost. It's taking everything in my power to not do anything drastic. I've never been in this position before. I don't know what to do. I was hoping typing this would be therapeutic, but looking over at my family, I have nothing but sadness and anger in me. Moral of the story, offer letters mean nothing, and these companies don't give a shit about you.
I would agree with that. Companies don't give a fuck about you.
Nope.
But didn't he kind of fuck himself? Didn't he put in his 2 weeks notice too early?
No, so he got an offer with Deloitte.
Right.
And then he put in his 2 weeks in, hoping that someone would give him he was either going to go with Deloitte or if Snapchat gave him the offer, which they did.
Okay, but did he sign this? Like, if you
the employment letter, yeah, he did.
Then can't he sue them?
I don't know.
If they offer you, like you just got a new job,
yeah,
right? And they gave you an offer,
I think,
and then you signed it, and then you put in your 2 week notice.
I don't think so, because it is based on, like, I had to do a background check. I had to get, like, what's it called? Like, people to, like, what's it called? References. And so I guess, like, after I sign that, that's when they go ahead and do all of those background checks. So it's dependent on those going through.
When I moved from BMW to Porsche, I went through my interviews. I got my offer letter. I signed my offer letter back, but my offer letter was after references, after all of that stuff.
Mine wasn't. I
signed a fine. I'm like, okay, the next step is references. Okay, yeah, we reach out to references. Everything's good. We'd like to bring you on board. Here's our offer letter. You sign the offer letter. That makes it official. And then I put in my notice.
No, the same thing happened to me with my new job. I signed and everything, and then it was like weeks later that they like reached out to me for the background check information and stuff.
And you'd already put in your notice?
I did.
I feel like there should be a once you sign the letter, I don't know,
legal wise.
I would check out legal wise, because yeah, I mean, once you've signed the offer letter and they pull, like, it's on them to do your qualifications before they send you an offer letter.
I would agree with that. Like,
so I would sue them. I would find an employment lawyer and sue them.
I would try to sue them as well, because that is bullshit. Like, they gave you the offer letter and based on the experience that they knew you had.
Yeah.
So they said 10 years experience required. He had 9 years and 4 months.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Bullshit.
That is so bullshit.
It's like a loophole for not wanting to hire him.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Like, maybe they found someone better and they needed any excuse to not hire him. I don't know. But yeah, it is true. These companies do not give a shit about you.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. Always do what is best for you.
100%. If that's like the one advice I can give, it's like, they don't give a shit about you. Do what's best for yourself. You
exactly.
need to, like, it's like this culture where, like, you stay at a company for 40 plus years. Like, that is not the norm anymore. It's not, let's not normalize that anymore. Like, it's, get those raises, make those changes.
If if Snapchat did nothing wrong here, then set your start date like a month in advance and let there be those weeks for them to get those background checks done before you give your notice.
Yeah.
You don't always need to be like, okay, I'll start in 2 weeks. You can be like, okay, I'll start in 5 weeks.
Yeah, I guess.
Like you went like 5 weeks, I think, from...
I did. I gave my company 5 weeks notice.
Yeah. Like sometimes you do what's best for you.
Yeah. Top comment. Their job offer letters work like their app. After you open it, they disappear like they never existed.
Oh, man. Oh, that's harsh. I would also say, like, have you reached back out to Deloitte?
Yeah, he said that the position was filled.
Oh, okay. That sucks. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I'd be going for an employment lawyer. Because there's been some other ones that I've read where like people have like moved across the different states for a job, and then the job got pulled and stuff. And it's like, I literally moved my whole life out over here. You can't do this to me.
Yeah. I hate corporations. They're so sleazy.
They can be. Eek.
Okay. Next.
On to me. All right. This one's coming from relationship advice. My husband and I are having a baby. Is asking for more than a week too much? Please help. Hi, everyone. I, 23 female, am 15 weeks along. My husband, 25 male, and I have just started talking about the appointments/schedules going on until the end of the year. The baby is due in November. We found out I would not be getting paid maternity leave, but he would be getting paid paternity leave for up to 4 weeks. I've already started saving up for when I will be out of work for 3 weeks after the baby. I do work from home, and I didn't really think it would be a problem for him to help me out for 3 weeks while I healed, and then let me readjust for a week while I try to transition back to work. His response that he'd be happy to take 1 week off, but if he needed, he could take 2. His reason was that 2 weeks was $2,000 that he would already be missing out on and didn't feel comfortable losing anymore. A few key details before I get into the juicy part. We've been married for 5 years. Just got married in May. Yes, we had issues before the baby, and no, the baby was not planned. I had pre-existing health issues on top of being diagnosed with hyperemesis gravidarum.
Let me see.
Guys, we're gonna get Google to help with this.
Hyperemesis gravidarum.
That's what it is, guys. You heard it there. That has sent me to the ER 4 times already. He does new construction plumbing, so he's paid per project. But if he were to be working at the shop on a rainy day / low inventory, then he makes $15 an hour, and that's what he'd be getting paid during the paid leave. We already have 3 ginormous dogs that I take care of 80% of the time on top of all of the vet visits / grooming. I feel that these are important tidbits so that you can better understand where I'm coming from. All I could do in response was sit here and cry. It hit me that I would honestly be doing this alone. I had already come to terms with that once he went back to work. I wouldn't be getting much help from him since he does work a job that is manual labor, and he already is exhausted without having a baby around. I told him that at this point, I'd rather him just take the day off for the birth and I'd handle the rest. I explained that a week was hardly anything, and if I was expected to be okay with just that, then I'd rather take nothing. I've already been looking around care.com and Rover to help find someone that will help with the baby and the dogs. I don't have anyone else but him since both of our parents work and we don't have any other family near us. I now feel selfish because he got upset by what I said, and he said, the baby isn't even here yet, and I already feel like a deadbeat. I can't find anything online that says that if a week is enough or not, and now I feel horrible because I can't get past the emotional part of the situation. Someone please tell me if I'm wrong or something because I really don't know what to think anymore.
This one's a little bit tough because you kind of need the money, right? Like, it seems like they need the money.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation. I was going to say, like, if it was a point where he feels like they need the money, but she doesn't feel like they need the money, then she would have said, like, we're good. We're saving. We have the funds available for him to take the time off work. But at the same time, if she's asking him to take a month off, is she not accepting the reality of their financial situation? So are they good enough or aren't they good enough in the financial? Like, is she being delusional where she's like, I know we can't afford it, but I need him to take 4 weeks off? Or is she like, I know we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I really need you to take the 4 weeks off.
Yeah. I think we need to know that piece.
We need that little bit of more info there. I feel like we have a little bit of input because my sister just gave birth to Andrew, and we kind of know what they've been going through. And I would say, bro, take the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's not hard. It's simple, but it's a lot. And it's repetitive. Baby poops, you clean, you watch baby, you clean the house, blah, blah, blah. Like you rinse and you repeat, you give it a bottle and you clean its diaper, and then you give it another bottle, and then you clean 3 more diapers and you give it a bath. It's rinse and repeat, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a hard workload. And not only that, but like your sleep schedule is about to get effed up for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You got to wake up every 3 hours during the middle of the night. So like I would say, like, it's not due until November, and this was back in May. Like, work the overtime, work as much as you can, get on all the projects you can, see if you can save up a little bit more so that you can take those 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
Do whatever you can to get as much time as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot that this was like months down the line. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe you just do as much as you can now, like, and try to save up. Like, they didn't really give any insight into their financial situation, so I'm going to assume they're okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if they're not, like, maybe try everything that you can do to make it work.
I would definitely say take the week. Take the 2 weeks at max if that's what he's willing to give you. Take it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why she said...
Don't say, oh, go back to work the next day. Take the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not just a lot of what you have to do. It's a lot because your sleep schedule is about to get wrecked.
Yeah. That's tough. Any updates or anything?
No update. Top comment. Setting aside your husband, if you have a heart disease, you need to be talking to a cardiologist about the risks of pregnancy. You may end up needing more than 2 weeks off before and after the birth. Unfortunately, those of us with lifelong health issues don't always have bodies that play ball with our financial necessities, such as permitted mat leave and sick leave. So I think you need a safety net just in case. But your husband should be contributing to this fund too. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you got to try and save up as much as possible before the baby comes. And if the most you guys can afford is 1 week, 2 weeks,
take as much as you can.
Take what you can. If you can't afford it, I feel for you. But I would say take the 1 week, 2 weeks.
I would say so too. Yeah.
Try and convince him. You got a lot of time to see if you take the 4 weeks. Like. Yeah, especially if you have like a heart condition, like you might need more time to recover too. You might not be up and about right away.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, very scary.
This one comes from Career Advice. New coworker earns more than I do. My company is hiring again, and the pay is $30,000 more than what I make. I'm in my 30s and have 5+ years of experience in my field. I started working for this company a year ago. I manage a number of accounts and have a great relationship with my clients. So much so that I often get compliments and referrals from them. My bosses are well aware. 5 months after I was hired, they had to hire another PM, Jay, as my portfolio was almost full. This person is in their early 20s, has 2 years of experience, and doesn't have the best work ethic, but likely because they are really fresh. Due to our number of clients growing, my company is hiring a new PM. The ad for the same position I have right now has a salary cap at $30,000 more than what I make. This new person would also be starting with an empty portfolio. I asked Jay how much they make, and to my surprise, their pay is $7,000 more than mine. They were also pretty shocked that I earn less than they do based on how much more work I do. I asked my boss today if we could have a meeting next week to discuss my 1 year at the company. I will be asking for a $20,000 raise, as it would put me $10,000 below the current cap for the position. I believe that sounds reasonable, but I like second opinions. Since starting at this job, I have done a lot to iron out our processes and have improved our campaigns quite a lot. I like my job, but it sucks to get screwed.
Yeah, no, I mean, corporate's always going to do that. Corporates are assholes. Corporate's always going to do that. They're going to try and pay you as little as possible and get away with it. And you got to let them not get away with it. So I can almost already know where the conversation is going with her boss that, yeah, we're not going to be able to increase your wage by that much. I can almost see that coming. You need to go find a new job that will do that for you, because like they're going to just hire someone else. And it makes sense that the new hire gets paid more than you do, regardless of what they're actually doing, because like that's kind of how the job works. When you're hiring more people in, you're going to have to pay more. And it's kind of funny because when you have to hire a new person in, like, you know, you're going to pay more for that new person than you did the old person.
I know.
And the old
you
person,
would think they know.
Yeah, you think they know. And the old person knows how to do the job.
Yeah.
Portfolio manager. That sounds like what your old job was.
My old job, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, Teresa? You're the corporate portfolio manager person.
So I actually experienced this in my last job.
Yeah.
Where I was getting paid more than my partner in the portfolio, who was doing more of the work.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I had my CPA, and they didn't. But the work that she was doing was a lot more and a lot harder than what I was doing. Mm-hmm. And she flat out told me, like, I'm getting paid less than you. Like, and it was only because we were sharing like bonus, we were comparing bonuses because our bonuses were based on our portfolio together. Mm-hmm. And then, so she like got a glimpse of like my salary, and she was like shocked. And then she didn't do anything about it. I was like, okay, you need to tell them.
You
need
to do something.
Well, actually, sorry, she did. She did tell them. And then their excuse was, that's not our policy. We can't give you a raise mid-year. Our policy is going to be next year.
You also get didn't you know there's company policy not to share your salary with with your coworkers? They don't want you sharing and comparing, because then the person who's underpaid will find out they're underpaid.
Yeah, exactly. It's so important to talk about salaries, I feel. I feel like it's actually so important.
You need to know whether you're getting taken advantage of or not.
Yes.
And then go to another company and you'll get a significant pay raise.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why like jumping from company to company is very...
It's the new way.
It is the new way. Like, you almost have to in order to make a living.
There's nothing wrong with applying for a job. And then there's nothing wrong with if you get a job offer and they're willing to pay you more money to accept that job offer. There's nothing wrong with that.
Or to use it as leverage.
If you don't want to stay, but hey, it's more money, you could go back and be like, hey, I got recruited. This is the job offer on my table. I actually really like it here, though. Can we work? Can you match this so that I will stay?
Yep. So there's an update. I requested a meeting and we scheduled it for today. They offered me the exact amount that my coworker makes and then asked if I had a number in mind. I said that while this is a good start, it didn't feel like a rise and more of a leveling of the department. I let them know that I knew that Jay made the suggested amount. They clearly started messaging each other. This was done over Zoom, and they looked a bit flustered. I told them, hey, that's how it works nowadays. People should and will discuss salaries. I then asked for the amount I had in mind. For reference, I am a female and Jay is a male. They first said how they didn't even know that Jay made that amount, which is obviously all bullshit as my boss manages payroll and is actively hiring. There was more bullshit said, but they eventually agreed on my number. I got a $20,000 raise.
Woo, let's go! One for the win!
The meeting ended with one of the bosses saying that while we don't mind us discussing pay with each other, it can lead to toxicity and we should avoid getting down that path.
Shit, toxicity for the corporate budget.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're being outed, bro. Anyways, I don't think they were expecting me to have a spine, but it worked for once.
Good job.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Love that.
I don't think Mr. Jake was getting paid more because he was a guy. I think it's just because he was a new position and she's a female. I don't think she was being underpaid because she was a girl. I think she's being underpaid because
she's an existing employee. Yeah. I mean, we can't assume that, but companies do still have a wage gap between genders. But
do you think so?
Yeah.
Why?
There's stats.
What stats?
I don't know. They're stats.
Okay.
I've seen them.
Okay, but if company was like, I'm gonna pay the females less money than the males, why wouldn't they just only hire women? Why would they even hire guys? If like I can get cheaper labor over here, why wouldn't they continue to do it?
I don't know.
I watched a video. I don't know if it was right or not. Anybody can correct me, but they were saying that the stats, the one person is trying to argue that women make 70 cents on the dollar compared to men, and they were arguing back saying that it's the measuring is being done wrong. It would be like the men are working more hours, and I don't know, just a bunch of other things. But it was just like the main thing was like, why wouldn't corporate just hire all the positions to be the cheaper person?
I think men are more respected than women. They're seen as smarter, better.
But at the end of the day, if it's all about just getting the job done, just being a customer support person or whatever,
sometimes it's not just about that though.
But a lot of the positions are like the corporate structure is like a pyramid. Like they're essentially a pyramid in the sense that you have the CEO, and then below the CEO you have more managers, and then you have more supervisors than managers, and then you have more floor workers than supervisors. You know what I mean? One person manages a bunch of other people. So if you can have at the bottom the cheapest labor force possible, wouldn't you want that for your bottom line as a company?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think also like the discrepancy in pay could also be in terms of like promotions and stuff as well, because men tend to get promoted and be in those higher ranked jobs than women. Like it's always like, if there is a woman in that role, it's like, oh, this woman CEO or this, like it's always stated before, like,
yeah,
as like an accomplishment, but you never hear, oh, this man CEO or this man CFO or whatever.
The times are changing though. It's going to take a lot more time. Like they're starting to get there, but I don't know if I believe that women are paid less than men. Yeah. I don't know. I'm open to be told either way, but I think like there's a legal part, and there's audits, and there's accountants, and I don't think that legally anybody can get away with that anymore.
I disagree.
Okay. I would love to be proven right with the facts on that, but it just doesn't make sense to me because I don't think legally you can get away with that, because the accounting departments and audits and all of that stuff.
They can decide anybody's salary. They can decide whatever.
They can, but if there's a statistic going on, people are going to say something and they're going to get caught and they're going to get fined. And then also...
They wouldn't be fined.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Oh, is it?
It's illegal. You can't legally do that.
Oh.
So they would legally get fined if they were doing that. So it's in our laws that you can't pay women less than men for the same position. So therefore, if a company could get away with it, why wouldn't they hire only women to do something? It's in our equal labor law rules.
Ontario. In Ontario, the hourly wage gap has narrowed 6% points. 6 percentage points since 1998 to 13% in 2022. When looking at average hourly wage.
That's average hourly wage. I'm talking about legal. What a company can legally do. That's assuming the averages between all the jobs out there and all the people working, and what a female staff person is working versus a male staff working, which has a huge amount of variables, including the amount of hours that someone's worked.
I think it's...
But legally, we can't. Legally, we can't. We're not allowed to.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I don't think huge corporations... If they could get away with hiring only women, they would. I mean, there was a time back in the day, in like the 20s, I think, or whatever it was, like war times, where they did pay women less, and the factories hired more women workers because they could pay them less. We're not allowed to do that anymore. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Guys. That's where I'm at. Let us know where you guys are at.
All right. Top comment. Congrats for doing this. Congrats for advocating for yourself.
Yeah.
While this is great, I suggest you also consider updating your resume and slowly seeing what's out there. Better to be ready just in case.
Yeah, you'll probably get another $20,000 pay raise.
Yeah, maybe.
How's yeah. All right, let's move on to me. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to do her responsibilities? A little about me. I am 30 male and my wife is 29. Before we got married, we knew each other for 3 years. We decided that I would be the sole earner, responsible for finances, taxes, while she would be a housewife, taking care of the kids and the household duties. We agreed she would never have to work, and I wouldn't ask her to either. In the first 2 years of our marriage, we didn't have any kids. I worked from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sometimes she'd wake up and make me breakfast, and sometimes she wouldn't. I didn't mind because we were early on in our marriage. On days she made breakfast, she would also pack me a lunch. On days where she didn't wake up early, I would eat both breakfast and lunch at work. She would wake up around 12 to 2 p.m., do the household chores, and wait for me to come home. We would have dinner together and spend time going out for the movies, dinners, and visiting friends at least twice a week. This year, we had a baby. I took 1 month of leave to help her, which is the maximum my job allows. State leave wasn't an option because the subsidized pay wouldn't cover our bills. After my leave, her parents stayed with us for 2 months, helping with the baby. I supported all the household bills during this time. After they left, our baby was 3 months old, and this is when the issues began. My wife was used to a previous routine of waking up late and now found it difficult to manage caring for the baby and household chores. I offered to help by cleaning the first floor of our house and putting our baby to bed several times a week, despite working from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., handling all immigration paperwork, taxes, bills, and grocery shopping, since she doesn't drive. However, every day I come home, she seems angry or upset, often taking it out on me. Sometimes it's about the baby, sometimes it's about me not helping enough around the house. Today, we had an argument where I asked why she is constantly struggling with her responsibilities. I acknowledged that she had an easier life for the first 2 years of our marriage because she didn't work, but reminded her that we had planned for this baby and understood that it would require more work. We had agreed she would be the primary caretaker and housewife, but now she would not stop complaining and we can't stop having fights. Am I the asshole for asking her to fulfill her share of the household responsibilities?
I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is for this one. I don't really love the like traditional gender roles in a relationship. So for me, it just like makes me feel icky when a man is telling a woman to like go take care of me, go do this. I know that's what they agreed on.
I mean, it's what they agreed on. And listen, I'm not for the traditional life, but it is what was agreed upon. And he is the one who's going to work 8 to 6 every single day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So probably not the asshole. But yeah, I guess.
You know, as actually, I don't understand why, but it was rated asshole.
Really?
And I don't really understand why. Like, if it was, I don't know. Like, to me, he's like, I'm cleaning the first floor of the house. I'm putting the baby to bed several times a week. I'm helping out. I'm doing the grocery shopping. He's doing a bunch of that traditional stay-at-home mom life work, too. So not only is he working 8 to 6, he's also helping. So I don't understand how he got voted the asshole.
Interesting. Yeah, because at the same time, it's not fair that he is going to work every day and doing, like, making money for the family and also doing chores like that while she's, I'm not saying she's not doing anything, but she is struggling with it, which is also normal.
Which is normal, yeah.
That it's a big adjustment, I can imagine. Maybe he just needs to, like, cut her some slack for a little bit, like let her get adjusted. I think, like, how long has this been going on for? Like,
I don't really know. 3 months. They said the parents came.
Okay.
The parents came and he stayed home, and he also stayed home to help for a month. Like, I've heard a lot more stories where the guy does a lot less than this guy.
Yeah, but that's not the best.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not 100% sure why he was voted the asshole, because it seems to me like he's doing more than the traditional life. The traditional life would be, you stay home and do the kids, I work and I expect dinner on the table when I get home, and I don't clean. So it sounds like he's already working, cleaning, and taking care of the baby, and doing the grocery shopping and cleaning the bottom floor of the house. So I'm just confused on why he's so hardly voted asshole. I've been reading his comments.
Yeah, let's hear the comments.
He doesn't really say much in his comments. One of them.
No, what are other people saying though?
Top comment. Quote, today we had an argument where I asked why she is constantly struggling with her responsibilities. I'm having trouble imagining a fight starting if this was a good-natured question. You aren't reaching out to your partner about what is going on with her and her postpartum life. You're being judgmental. I don't know if you're aware of this, but it's May. Your child, born this year, cannot be more than 5 months old. Have you literally never met a baby? They're hard people to live with, especially when you have no help. Let me stick you in a house for a couple years without a job and then shove a screaming, sleepless, needy watermelon through your insides and see if maybe you don't get overwhelmed by your new reality. Worry less about whether the laundry is put away and more about whether you are sapping the sandy out of your life partner.
Yeah, I think he's just not being like sympathetic toward, like he's not viewing her as a human, I feel. Like,
yeah, it's like, why aren't the chores done when I get home? I guess. Yeah, I could see that.
Like, he doesn't actually care for her well-being. He's just, like, making sure that, like, the roles are... I don't know. Like,
I don't know about that because, you know, he from what he says, and we're getting one side here, seems like he's doing a bit more than just the straight roles. Like, it seems like he's doing more. And it seems like he feels, I'm doing more, and it seemed to be not enough for you. But I think there, like they said here, like there's a postpartum that's going on here. It is a big adjustment.
Yeah.
I will say though that it's, you know, it wasn't right away. It was, he stayed home for 4 weeks. He helped. And then the parents were there for 2 months. And
but
then
now she's by herself.
Now that she's by herself.
That's
and
a
he's
huge adjustment.
Huge adjustment for her. And he's just like, no sympathy. Like, why aren't you picking up the slack?
Yeah.
And she's like trying to adjust. But I think he also thinks and feels that she's still sleeping in. Like she still doesn't get up until 12 or whatever or something like that. Did he say that?
No, I think he said that she's not used to it. Like she used to.
Yeah, she's not used to it. Yeah. But even then I'm like, it's been 3 months. Like your whole sleeping cycle has changed. It's not like, oh, before I had a baby, I was used to getting up at 12. Bro, you're not getting any sleep. Yeah. You're waking up every 3 hours all night long. Yeah. So like, I doubt you're sleeping in really anymore. You can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
One of his comments says, people got their pitchforks out too fast. People, I don't hate my wife. She is not a mail order bride. I knew her for 3 years. We recently moved over to the US from Europe. Due to the natures of the visas, I am only able to work because I'm sponsored by my employer, and she is my dependent. She can't work because she's my dependent, and dependents cannot work in the US. We agreed before we moved here that she would be the stay-at-home wife / stay-at-home mom. Yes, I overlooked the first 2 years of our marriage because I just wanted her to stay relaxed. We do have friends here. She also has her own group of friends that she hangs out with. We don't live in the country or far away from the suburbs, just a little farther away from the city where places are still relatively close by and walking distance. But I still do the groceries because I want to help reduce her workload. I've been doing the groceries for 2 years. Granted, sometimes she does come with me. Don't think the comment sections will change though. I don't know.
He doesn't seem terrible.
He doesn't seem terrible. We definitely read a lot worse ones.
A lot worse, yeah.
He's just like, I'm working, I'm helping out as much as I can, and it still seems like she can't handle the rest. Why can't she handle the rest? I don't know if that's the best way to approach your wife with a baby and stuff, but...
I think, he just needs to go at it with more empathy. Like, that's your wife. Like, I don't know. I think that's the issue here.
Yeah, I don't know. Must be nice to sit at home and for 2 years and just not have to do anything though. That must have been nice. Why'd they have a kid?
Goals.
He ruined her setup she had at home.
Yeah, I know, right?
They said it was planned.
Yeah. Goals.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to me.
Back to you.
Okay. This is going to be my last one.
Okay.
I'm going to do the update.
Okay.
To the last week's story from the story about the woman leaving with her child after, or her baby after.
Oh, yes. Update.
The husband neglected the baby. I haven't read this update yet, so live reaction here. Hi guys, me again. Not a very exciting update, but one all the same. We are in the shelter now. It has been a whirlwind day. One of the shelter workers had to meet us at the hotel and inspect my car to make sure there was no tracking device. I had to show that my location is turned off on my phone. I had to go over the shelter's rules and sign a form saying I wouldn't break them. Curfew was at 9 p.m., no exceptions. I asked about my job and how the restaurant is open until 10 p.m. and what if I get scheduled to work late. The shelter worker said it didn't matter. Break curfew, that's 1 strike. 3 strikes and you have to leave. I can't share the address with anyone, can't have any packages addressed to me, so for those who wanted to make an Amazon wish list, I can't do that right now. I have to provide/cook 2 meals per month for all the residents of the shelter. All of the other residents have to do the same. No eating in the room I'm assigned to. I have to be okay with sharing my room if more residents are brought in. The shelter will provide things like toilet paper, pads, tampons, but if I want special stuff like my own body wash or shampoo or laundry detergent, I have to purchase that on my own. The room that I'm assigned to is definitely meant for a bigger family because I'll be sleeping on the bottom of a bunk bed and there's barely enough space to fit the pack and play they're letting me use for my daughter. When we got to the shelter, they had me fill out an application for WIC, SNAP, TANF, Medicaid for both myself and my daughter. They gave me a list of HUD apartments to start calling and applying for low-income housing. I was also given a list of lawyers to contact to start the divorce and custody arrangement. My soon-to-be ex-husband has not tried contacting me once. No phone calls, no texts, no voicemails, nothing. But his mom, my mother-in-law, has gone off the deep end. I made the mistake of opening up my text from her and seeing all of the vile, nasty stuff she has been sending my way. She said shit that made my stomach turn, and I showed the shelter worker who was helping me complete these applications, and her response was, "You've got a long fight ahead of you." My ex-mother-in-law made it clear she is going to do everything in her power to win this situation, and I guess my soon-to-be ex just lied to her and told her I up and left with the baby and just abandoned him or some shit. I'm scared about this because my ex's parents have money and I am pretty sure they will use it against me to hurt me and keep my daughter from me. I don't know if my ex is going to just let his mom take over and do everything for him, but I have this pit of anxiety in my stomach that is going to be ugly and they aren't going to let go without a fight. My ex-mother-in-law is the type to think her son could do no wrong. I have kept all the paperwork I was given at the emergency room on Friday night, along with my daughter's discharge papers, and I made an appointment with her pediatrician for this Friday. I've also reached out to a police escort to go back to the apartment I was sharing with my ex to get my things, if he hasn't trashed them or destroyed my stuff. The shelter was kind enough to let me use their pack and play for my daughter, but she needs clean bottles and pacifiers, and I have boxes of diapers and wipes we will need and cans of formula that I can't let go to waste. I need my own clothes. I use the hotel soap bars to wash my hair in the hotel, and it has left my hair feeling greasy and I feel so grimy. I've been wearing the same clothes since Friday, and I asked the shelter worker if they could spare any clothes for me. I wear a size medium, but all they had was extra large underwear, so every 3 steps I have to hike up my underwear. I left behind my own special blanket from childhood and a teddy bear that I passed down to my daughter. There are some sentimental things I would love to have back, but I don't know if my ex would be spiteful enough to just trash them to get back at me. The shelter also works with daycare that will take my daughter from me to go back to work. I'm nervous about leaving her alone, but I know I need to work. I know I will have a CPS case opened against me for taking my daughter to the ER on Friday night, but I don't know when I'll actually hear from them. I'm still going to cooperate to give myself the best chances of getting full custody if I can. I know CPS gets a bad rep, but I didn't have any control over the case being opened when the ER doctor is a mandated reporter. Please stay out of my inbox telling me I'm a piece of shit for getting CPS involved when I wasn't given a choice. The good thing is my ex has no access to my bank account. My car is in my name, and he can't take it away from me. My phone and phone bill are in my name, so no accounts are shared with him. I'm exhausted from barely sleeping all weekend and literally cried over eating a McDonald's cheeseburger earlier because I've been so stressed and concentrated on my daughter, I haven't ate much. But I'm really hoping I hear something back soon from assistance and can hopefully get into a low-income apartment so we aren't in the shelter forever. I'm still scared of what's to come for our future, but just because I don't know what to expect next. I just want to wash my hands clean of my ex and raise my daughter in a safe environment. I'm about to put baby girl down for a nap and take a nap myself if I can. I know it's not much of an update, but I will update everyone again once the wheels start moving. I feel like I've lived 4 lifetimes since Friday.
Damn. It's glad to know that she's safe and she's got some help. I know her GoFundMe went really well. So if any of you guys reached out and supported her from her last episode, thank you guys very much.
Yes.
I may be like naive, but wouldn't CPS help her in this situation? It's like when they come and they talk to her, and she's gonna be like, yeah, my husband was the stay-at-home one who's taking care of the daughter. I was working 10-hour shifts at a diner. I came home and I found this, and I brought the baby to emergency because he was neglecting her. Wouldn't CPS help her get custody away from him?
Not necessarily. I think the concern would be she's not a fit parent either. She doesn't have money right now. She doesn't have a stable job. She's living in a shelter right now.
Wouldn't CPS help her with those things before they immediately... I don't think they immediately take the kid away. Like, I don't know. If there's government support for funding for parents, wouldn't CPS help her get her hands on that? And they're not just going to rip the baby out from underneath her, I don't think.
I have no idea. Obviously, people have gone through like with CPS and dealt with them, so they have that experience.
Yeah.
We obviously...
I don't know.
Have been lucky not to have gone through that. But yeah, I'm not too sure. That was my first thought too, but I'm also trying to like think of like other people's experiences because I'm sure they weren't always great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if a baby comes into an ER, it makes sense that it's an automatic report.
Yeah.
And just tell the truth. I was working. He was supposed to be the stay-at-home parent. I was the one who was going to work, and I came home and I found her neglected, so I had to leave and I had to take her to the ER. I feel like if you tell that to a CPS person, I feel like they're going to be on your side a bit, but it all depends on who you get. I don't know.
I think the goal for CPS is always to help do what's best for the kid first.
That's true.
Priority. So,
but I think what's best for the kid is staying with a parent, unless it's not applicable, unless it's not possible. The best thing for a kid would be to stay with a parent. And
I agree.
So if they can help her have a place, roof over her head, and everything like that, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. There's a small edit. First lawyer I called that the shelter provided me with their number does not work pro bono and wanted a retainer of $3,500. So that's a no-go. Trying not to feel down about it when I have a list of others to call as well. I'm going to get a P.O. box set up as well so I can have my mail. Working on getting a police escort back to the apartment so I can get some of our stuff and not use what little resources the shelter has. Here's hoping my stuff is okay and not demolished.
Yeah, hope so.
No other updates from her. But let's take a look at her GoFundMe. We posted this on our ThreadTalk podcast Reddit, subreddit, on Reddit. The link is in there. So far, she has raised $15,000, $15,900.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. So, and this is technically before our podcast
Aired?
has aired.
I think so.
Because it goes out Tuesday. We're filming on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully she'll get even more help from you guys. But yeah, if you have the means to, obviously, don't do it if you can't. But anything helps, I'm sure. So this one will be in the back of my mind for a while.
Yeah, same. Well, I had one more, and we are running out of time. It's time for us to go eat dinner. Dinner is in the oven right now. So I will just give you the title. And if you guys want that, you got to come join us on Patreon. Title is, My Boyfriend's Coworkers Joked About Killing Me in Their Work Chat.
What the fuck?
Yep. And that's going to be on Patreon. So if you guys want to support us with extra bonus episodes, one weekly, every Friday, like clockwork, we have bonus episodes going out. So please, thank you guys so much for coming over to Patreon, supporting us. If you guys are like binging all of our episodes and you're at this point and this is the last episode that's live for you, then come join us on Patreon.
Because we got 13
episodes on Patreon now. It's amazing. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. YouTube members for $1 a month get early access, usually about 1 week ahead. YouTube is usually on like Wednesdays. I usually get it up. And if you're on Spotify, don't forget, 5-star rating if you haven't done it already. And drop a comment.
Oh yeah, you guys can drop comments on Spotify if you didn't know.
Yep.
We can have a conversation.
Do you guys like my t-shirt?
Yeah, you didn't even mention the t-shirt.
Check out my t-shirt.
If you're watching on YouTube, I love it. He just came out of the bedroom last night wearing this, and I had to do a double take. I thought it was a Taylor Swift Sure. So if you're not watching on YouTube, it's basically like the Eras tour, all the Eras, like, you know, the classic. If you're a Swiftie, you know the classic photo.
Yeah.
But they're pictures of Tony Stark.
And Iron Man. It's great. I love it. Yeah, it's the best.
I love that he loves it.
Yeah, I saw it. I was searching for some like Iron Man stuff. I don't know. I've just been like in like a Marvel thing lately. I think I saw a TikTok with like the Iron Man helmet. So I was seeing if there's any like cool like little Iron Man things. And I came across it and I was like, oh my God, this is gold. I have to get it.
Little Swiftie.
Because it's like at first take, you're like Swiftie. But then you're like, wait, no, that's not Taylor. That's Iron Man.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about? Cruise. I said cruise earlier.
Yes, we're thinking about...
We're doing a cruise around the world for 365 days, guys.
No, we're not. Stop it.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
If we get a big enough room, we just bring our cats with us.
We would have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, we need a big enough room for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But no, we are thinking about doing a cruise for our wedding. For our honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
We're thinking between 2 cruise lines.
Yeah, one of them, 10 days, does Italy and Greece. The other one, 11 days?
11 days.
And it does like Spain and France.
Spain, France, Italy. But like the islands of Spain. I didn't know France had an island. There's an island in France. Like,
did you know, fun fact for you,
okay,
that the biggest border that France has with another country, I think, is Brazil.
Huh?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So France has like, they own a little piece of land over there.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, our dilemma is only which cruise line to choose.
Yes, it is Brazil.
Oh.
France's longest border is shared with Brazil, thanks to the French Guiana. It's 730 kilometers of border of Brazil.
Cool.
And here it is on the map.
Cool.
Yeah. Fun fact for you guys. And if you don't know, Brazil is in South America and France is in Europe. So it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But that's the facts. That's how it works.
But yeah, so let us know if you guys have ever been on a cruise, which cruise line you recommend. We've heard, what was it? Royal Caribbean is a good cruise line, but we're not loving the stops there. So we're looking at Virgin Voyages or Norwegian.
The Virgin, I think we're leaning towards the Virgin one. It looks a lot better. Like, we should just book it. Also, did you know that Disney has an Avengers cruise ship?
I did not. But that's not very honeymoony.
Yeah, it's more like for kids, but we should do it.
Okay, eventually. So yeah, that's our life update for you guys.
I thought you had other stuff.
Like what?
You tell me.
I bought some decaf pumpkin spice latte because fall is around the corner.
It's not what I was thinking, but okay. Fall,
before.
Teresa, every other day, that's all she thinks about.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
It's all she thinks about.
I think that's all if you guys hear that beeping sound in every episode.
It is a alarm that Teresa bought.
Yes, it's a self-protecting, what's it called?
Selfie whistle or something? Selfie alarm?
No.
If someone tries to attack you in public, you pull it and it makes a really loud noise to deter somebody. But I think it needs to be charged. And everything I've plugged it in with its charge, it doesn't charge it. And I've told Teresa to please take care of that since it's actually yours.
But we tried. And
did you read the instructions?
I don't have the instructions.
Did you look for them? Did you look them up? Did you try to Google it?
I know I threw it out.
Did you Google the device of what you bought to look up the instructions? Like, don't give me your half-ass answers. Where's your PSS? Use your PSS.
They don't know what PSS is.
Tell them what PSS is.
Problem-solving skills.
So early on in our relationship, in the beginning, Teresa she would always just, if she didn't know something, she would ask me without even trying to figure it out. And I was like, babe, where's your problem-solving skills? And then it just came to me. I was like, where's your PSS? So now, whenever she asks me for something that's like, kind of simple, maybe she doesn't really need my help, I'm like, come on, where's the PSS? Where's the PSS?
I'm just lazy.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. Sorry. Yeah, I'm probably just going to throw it out.
Then do it so I can stop listening to it.
All right. Anyways, thank you for listening. We love you all.
Bon voyage.
See you next time.
See you in the Mediterranean.
Okay. Not yet.
Soon, one day, maybe.
See you next time. Bye.
See you on Patreon. Bye.